And just probably do predictions. They take on Brighton this weekend. When they last met, it was a 4-2 win for Arsenal, and two teams that like to play football the right way. Brighton coming off that shock result against Everton, but it's hard to see them putting in that kind of performance twice. You'd expect another good game here, wouldn't you?
Very good. It'll be a good game, regardless. Teams are going to have to earn the victory. So yeah, high scoring game. Teams are expansive, want to play forward football. So I'll go 3-2 Arsenal.
Lunchtime kick-off on Saturday, which is Leeds at home to Newcastle. Sam Allardyce always going to struggle to get a result in his first game against Man City. The scoreline perhaps more respectable than the actual sort of domination was, but they're at home here. Newcastle not an easy task again, but he'll fancy it at home, won't he, Allardyce, for a result?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think they're going to use the result from the City game as a positive, and you can dress it up. It's a more flattering scoreline, even though they're last than the game was. But yeah, this is huge. They are probably the toughest running, Leeds, in regards to who they face and how their teams have performed this season. Newcastle, again, confidence is still high. Wouldn't have expected to lose to Arsenal, but it's understandable. I don't know if there's a shock in regards to Leeds winning. So I'll be kind and say 2-2.
And moving on to 3 o'clock, then if we start with Aston Villa at home to Tottenham, these two teams are very closely positioned in the table. Champions League may be looking a bit of a stretch for them now, but Europa League very much on the cards. And Villa with the home advantage, do you think that's going to be key?
Huge for both teams. And again, just the way they finished the season, I think Villa have done exceptionally well since the new manager. And I don't even think they thought of Europe when this manager took over, never mind Champions League. But yeah, now it's there's a real opportunity there, real belief, rightly so. Yeah, I can see Villa winning this. I'll say 2-1 Villa.
Chelsea are at home to Nottingham Forest. Not a game that Forest fans would have looked at the start of the season and thought that's a good one for us to get points from, but they may feel a little bit different now.
They definitely feel different, but again, their contrast between their home and away form is chalk and cheese. So yeah, I don't think they'll be too optimistic about going to Chelsea and winning, potentially getting something, yes, but to win there would be, I think they stay up if they win there. But then I think other teams have to win 2 or 3 of their games. So yeah, I see Chelsea winning this, just due to Forest's away form. So 3-1 Chelsea.
Crystal Palace at home to Bournemouth, and both teams will be kind of pleased to say that this game has a little bit of a look of maybe both teams on the beach. Do you, in your experience as a player, when you're in these mid-table teams, is that a thing? Do players kind of relax when there's nothing left to play for? And are we going to see that here?
They don't relax, but you mentally can enjoy it more because your objective has been reached and your goals been achieved. So, and rightly so, they should be able to play with a bit more freedom and enjoy the occasion more now. I don't think anyone will be lax in their approach, managers, players. It just doesn't work like that. I'm sure Bournemouth are more relieved due to them getting to their goal sooner than they probably thought and most people thought. So, yeah, credit to them and Gary O'Neill. I think Palace win this though. I'm going to say 2-1 Palace.
Man United are at home to Wolves, and Wolves got a big win over Aston Villa last time out. Another team that looked to have done enough to secure their safety without any last day drama. Man United are just having a wobble at the wrong time, aren't they? With Liverpool breathing right down their necks now, just a point behind, and another slip up here would potentially be lethal in the Champions League hopes.
Yeah, I just spoke about it. Was it last week or week before about them being comfortable? Not being able to Liverpool not catching, but yeah, they can't afford to be dropping any more points. They can't afford to be dropping points before Liverpool now, just for motivation. Liverpool will believe, and we've seen them do it in pretty much every year in the last 5 or 6. Go on to win 9, 10 games in a row, and that's on the cards for them. So I think it's just proven that they've been heavily reliant on Marcus Rashford. As soon as he doesn't score, other players aren't chipping in as much. So I think they need to share the load, and someone needs to really step up to the plate and not be so reliant on Marcus just winning them the game. 2-1 United. I don't honestly believe that either, but I'll say it.
One final 3 o'clock is Southampton at home to Fulham, and I think this can be, if results go against them, this will be Southampton's fate sealed. They can only try and beat Fulham, and that's far from a guarantee, is it?
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone believes Southampton can get out of this. There's so many variables that have to happen for that to be a possibility, and it's not just about them winning their games. So I think when you're waiting on so many factors, I think every team would have to lose every game, and I don't even know how possible that is when they're just teams facing each other. So yeah, anything other than a draw, I mean a win potentially confirms it, but I think they'll allude to the fact that that's happening. Does it stop them winning or playing themselves? Maybe not. But Fulham, I'm gonna go with Fulham 2-1.
We did touch on it earlier. We've touched on Arsenal, Brighton, but Everton on Sunday host Manchester City, a potentially tricky afternoon in store for the league leaders. How do you see it going?
Tough for both teams. I don't think it's a fixture either team would want. Always a tough place for City, but in regards to this result, I see them going there and being tough, but I see it being a tougher game than Leeds, but a bigger score. So I'm going to say 3-1.
The 2 o'clock on Sunday is Brentford at home to West Ham, and we talk about teams with European ambitions. Brentford is still mathematically in with a chance of maybe nicking a top 6 finish, but they probably need to finish with 3 wins. Do you think they'll get one over West Ham, who have improved in recent weeks?
Tough has to get 3 wins, not to win games in isolation, but yeah. I could see them winning this game. West Ham are safe now, and you'll probably potentially see more rotation in their squad due to their semi-finals. So yeah, I'll go Brentford 2-1.
We've already covered Arsenal, Brighton. That just leaves us with Monday Night Football, which is Leicester at home to Liverpool. And Leicester, just when you thought they maybe were pulling some results together, another really poor performance. They've slipped back into the relegation zone with Everton's win, and now they're trying to beat Liverpool, who are in much better form than they have been for a long time.
Tough game, but if there's a style of defending that suits the way Leicester want to create chances, that is Liverpool's high line. So you never know. But yeah, with the current form, you've got to go with Liverpool. So I'll say Liverpool 2-0.